Well, good Monday afternoon and welcome back to Progressive Plan Quick Tip number 13. Today I want to talk about something I've talked about a lot. I've published a couple articles that include it. I've talked about it to clients. I'm pretty sure I've done other videos on it. The fact that I'm being this much return to topic with it is because I think it's causing that much of a problem in getting to success in turnaround. So what I'm actually getting at here is manpower efficiency. Now, there's a lot of people have an idea of what manpower efficiency should be. And I think if people would just take a deep breath and let themselves see the arithmetic, then this would be far less of a controversial topic. But as it is, let's take a look at the breakdown of what manpower efficiency has to look like if we apply the arithmetic of a modern day workplace. So we're going to do this based on a 10-hour shift, which will be, of course, 600 minutes. So there's 600 minutes in our shift, and we got a bunch of acceptable time that we expect is going to come directly out of the tool time. So nowadays, you do not start a day on any site that I know of without a toolbox talk. That's the importance of safety on all of our sites, and that's going to continue to be that way. So call that 15 minutes. Call sourcing your tools from the tool crib another 15 minutes. Most people get 2 coffee breaks. There are some different types of schedules out there that we could talk about in a different talk, but let's assume 2 coffee breaks at 15 minutes apiece. That's 30 minutes. We got to put our tools back at the end of the day because the employer gets a little wound up when he has to buy new tools on a daily basis. And during the course of the day, there's going to be a certain number of meetings. There's going to be meetings with the operators to get permits. There's going to be meetings with safety to understand things. And in some cases, this number could be quite a lot larger if we were looking at a confined space entry crew, for instance. But let's call that 45 minutes. So then we have inherent lost time. This is stuff that you can't really do anything about. Now, a lot of the stuff that we talked about just now involved walking. Walking itself from point to point takes up time. The more you space things out, the more time it takes up. But for the purpose of this very simple PMPT style example, we're going to say that 8 trips a day, 10 minutes a trip, that's there and back, call that 80 minutes. There's going to be a certain amount of work explanation, or at least we hope they are. I mean, we paid pretty close attention to the supervisor to tool guy ratio, so there's going to be a certain amount of work explanation. It's going to be based on the number of jobs in the day. But let's just say that averages out to 4 times 10 minutes a day for 40 minutes. So this is giving us a total lost time of 255 minutes, 43% of our day. So this number then, 345 minutes, would become what we call our baseline for wrench time efficiency. But that is not yet our actual realistic wrench time efficiency, because we got to add into that anticipated lost time. Now this number, I'm going to go ahead and speculate, this number might come down from what I have here. We're going to say that there's going to be 4 personal break times, and this is things like washrooms and stuff, but I do believe this number has been influenced by the past cigarette smoking culture as well. So potentially there might be some trim here, but you're not going to trim it very much. You can't prevent people from going to the washroom, and you can't prevent people from having personal time. So this gives us a total lost time now of 315 minutes for 245 minutes for tool time work, so 47% of our shift. So the maximum wrench time to be expected per 10-hour shift is 285 minutes, or 47%. Now, I would, on my own team, go ahead and call that 50%, because there is some pretty good data that suggests that if you just ever so slightly underman yourself, you get into a more optimum financial efficiency point of view. But when we say ever so slightly, we mean ever so slightly. Now, I want to add something to this. An associate of ours over at Advando Canada, he has a whole, call it an Excel template tool for this, which would allow you to adjust these numbers to specific jobs on a specific site, because you can actually just go out and walk it down. Okay, I'm going to the job, I'm coming back for coffee, I'm going to the washroom, and you can actually get a very specific number per work package, per the job site that you're on, and per the type of setup that's been done. I'll talk about setup issues at some other time, but there's some things you can do to improve efficiency here. One of them is you can take more advice from your general contractor, because they are actually trying to improve their efficiency too, because if their efficiency improves, they look better. So don't assume that the contractor, when they want to bring in an extra 3 tool cribs, is looking to make extra padding on the bill. They could be trying to save you money because of this type of thing. The real advantage of the way that our associate over at Advando Canada is doing this is it opens the door to the possibility that you could potentially take your steering team, maybe even your strategy team, for a walk using this Excel tool, and you could walk down a few job packages. Because I'll tell you what, the idea that you should be planning your workforce's day to 80+%, that's always coming from way up here. And when the turnaround team and the turnaround planning team is unable to win that argument, that's also always coming from up here. So you're not going to win this argument in the boardroom. People that believe that a man should work 80 to 90% of his time, paid time, on the job, that's just what they believe. They've never really thought it through. They've never really, and maybe they've never had a kind of job that involves a lot of walking back and forth and picking up tools and stuff. So the thing I like about having an actual walk-down tool, and I wouldn't suggest you did this with every job package either, but you might want to do it to benchmark the specific site you're working on. But the thing you might really be able to use a tool like that for is to convince your steering team and your strategy team that 50% is the right amount of time to be booking out of a tradesman's day. And here's the thing that happens if you don't succeed in this. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. When you don't succeed in this, and you surrender, and you go ahead and you have your planners plan for 80% efficiency, on day 2 of your event, your schedule update is telling you you're falling behind at a rate of 30% per day. Not a big mystery when you've looked at the arithmetic. Have a good day. See you next Monday. This has been Progressive Plan, quick tip number 13. Don't be afraid to click on my subscribe button.